Hello. Marie, hello. First to comment today. Hello, hello, hello. Hi. Why did my light just go out? Hi, Caitlin and Lorraine. Hi, Laura. Hello. Hi, Emma and Laura. Angela. Hello. Hi, Sue. Terry. Louise. Good evening, everybody. Okay, it's back on for a minute. We'll see if that stays. Hello, 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 hello. Hopefully the lights will stay on. If not, you can still see me and you can still... That went off, one off. I wonder why it just went off. Okay, there we go. Hopefully that works. Okay, so hello, 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 hello. How is everybody? Who was that? I just saw about an order. I didn't grab the name. Sorry, it moved up too fast. I won't know off the top of my head. If you'd like to know any information, please pop me an email over with your 5-digit order invoice number, and then I can get back to you that way because I will not know now on the live. I hope you can understand. Laura, bless you. Thank you for the stars today. I've missed everyone's names, so hello, hello, hello. Welcome to everybody joining. Bags of Plenty are on today. All oysters are available. The Nunu and the Expand the Rainbow oysters are running slightly lower, but I'm due a oyster delivery this week. But there's loads of mystery oysters. I think that's... Oh, we're meant to be live on Wednesday this week because it's our monthly charm dip. However, we've had to move the live from Wednesday to Thursday this week. So everybody who's ordered the charm dip... I don't know why it doesn't like it. Okay, so everybody who's ordered the charm dip has been emailed. Now, if you can't make Thursdays live, you can pick what date after that you'd like to open the order. And I'm ever so sorry we can't do the live on Wednesday, which is of course why we've moved it to Thursday. So if you have ordered for that, do double check your emails if you would like to not be booked in for Thursday. You've all automatically been moved to Thursday, but just tell me if you can't make it, and then we'll book you in for a different date. What I'm going to do is we're going to be darker today because I don't really trust plugging that in if that's going to keep going out. Because 2 lights now have gone off twice. So yeah, we're just going to unplug them and stay a little bit darker. But then we can still see, let me just double check actually, that the oyster light. Oh yes, you can see this beautifully. Okay, so we're going to keep it like that. And then, like I say, we'll hopefully it won't get too dark. Oh, let me just double check the bag's light as well. Oh yeah, that's not too bad. If anything, that's a bit shiny. Okay, perfect. Yeah, so I don't know what's going on, but we're going to have to stay with the darkness, I think. I don't feel comfortable plugging those back in again. And I'll see what's going off. Sound keeps cutting off. The sound is not plugged into that at all, so that should be something completely different. So hopefully that was possibly just a blip, because it should be, the sound should be okay. I can see it in front of me. It's all connected. It's all running okay because I've got like a little display in front of me. So hopefully that should be okay. It's just hopefully just a little blip. Okay, so we're going to start for the evening. If you have ordered, I just posted the order list just before we went live, so you can find that on the Pearls of Brecon page where we're live from now. And if you would like to order for tonight, you can do so. I'll just update the order list as we go. Okay, so up first today is Katie Louise. Katie, are you here? Oh, bless you guys. Thank you. So yeah, those of you who had the sound, hopefully that was just a little blip there then, because it's okay for other people. It's fine. I feel really, really dark. Just come a bit closer. Hello. I suppose darkness hides all. So I'm looking for Katie Louise. Katie, are you here? So Katie, if you're here, please type I'm invisible. It'll bring your comment forward so I can see you. And if anybody else can see Katie Louise, please comment on her comments because it will bring it forward so I can see. Now, she's not here. We will move on. We can add her into the end of the order list if she comes back on again. But I'll give it another moment. Is Katie Louise here? Lisa, bless you. Thank you for the stars there. The bag sabs, they are at least a couple of years old now. I just keep them like I'm really precious over them because I love the design. So I honestly can't remember because they're a couple of years old. On the bottom it says TSI. If that's a company, I don't know. Thank you, Claire. So last call for Katie Louise. If not, we'll move on. Okay, so I haven't seen her. So we are going to move on. Like I say, if she comes on, we can add her back in again to the end of the order list. So up next then is Samantha Butler. Samantha, are you here? We do, Gail, yes. I mean, I need to possibly test the lighting with the pearls, make sure everything's hunky-dory, but I believe it should be okay. Samantha, hello, you've also got an order 20614. Yep, I can see that here. Let me just have a quick look. And that's perfect. I can add that on for now, which means you have 2 bags of plenty all together. Now, bear with me just a second. I'm just printing this one off as well. Okay, so let's go to the bags. 2 bags of plenty all together. Now, you can see the names at the top there, but I will just go through them for you. So you've got Mr. Shocked, Mr. Pink Smiles, Mr. Love Eyes and Mr. Winky Face. You've got Mr. Kissy Face, Mr. Nervous, Mr. Muscles at the back here, and then Mr. Happy, Yellow Smiles and Mr. Licky Face. Samantha, what 2 bags would you like? And would you like to keep or would you like to donate your shells? Oh, Mr. Kissy Face and Mr. Muscles. Mr. Kissy Face and Mr. Muscles. Perfect. If I move those ones along a bit, I might be able to fit that one on there. Okay, so let's come back. We'll open up Mr. Kissy Face first. So that's this one here. donate the shells. Perfect. Thank you, Samantha. So you have a red parcel, and let's go down. So in here, oh, you have a pendant, and you have 1 and 2 oysters. There's nothing else in there. A pendant and 2 oysters to start with. Now, Samantha, your pendant, again, I don't have a chain. I do apologise. So I'm going to hold it up with this. It's 925 silver pendant, and it is like the mermaid's tail. Now your pearl is going to get set, if I hold it up like that, you can see there's the pin right in the centre there. Your pearl gets set in the centre, and then around it with all that detail is a mermaid tail. So I hope you're happy with that one. Oh, and then you get to have the choice of 2 pearls, one of which can go onto the pendant. Let me get these open for you. You love that. Oh, I'm glad you're happy with him. So there's 1 and 2. Okay, so Samantha, oyster number 1. There's one side and the other side. And in oyster number 1, you are twinning. And you're twinning with icy blue twins to start with. And there's no more in that one. So if I pop these straight in the sun, now please bear with me because hopefully the lighting's okay for the pearls. Oh, it's perfect. Look at that. Okay, so twinning icy blues. Then moving on to oyster number 2. There's one side and the other side. And in here you are twinning for a second time. 2 sets of twins, Samantha. Your second set are blush pink twins. So you've got icy blues and blush pinks. So I'll need to know which one of these colours you'd like on that pendant. Then the other 3 pearls are yours as well. So twinning icy blues and twinning pinks. Let me pop these on the board for you. Icy blue number 1 is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7, not a 7.5, not an 8. He's an 8.5. Blue number 2 is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7, not a 7.5, not an 8. He's an 8.5 as well. So the blues are the same size there. Blush pink number 1 is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7, not a 7.5, not an 8. He's an 8.5. And pink number 2 is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7. He's a 7.5. So the pinks are measuring at slightly different sizes. So if you would like a pink on the jewellery, do let me know if it's the larger or smaller pink there. Samantha, pink or blue, my lovely? What do you think? What would you like to do? Let me bring you back up so I can write this down. $8.5 pink on the jewellery, of course. I'm just popping these in here, and then we're going to have pink on there. Okay, so I hope you're happy with that one. You also then have Mr. Muscles, which is this one here. So let's get him open. Oh, you have another red parcel. And let's go down. So, opening up your parcel, your second Mr. Muscles parcel. Oh, bless you, Samantha. Oh, okay, in here you have a ring and 2 oysters. There's nothing else in that one. So you have a ring and 2 oysters. Now this ring is either the bow ring or the boutique ring. I get them slightly confused. So this is a 925 silver adjustable to one size ring from the back of the ring. And then you go round and it's got a single band both sides there. Now at the top you can see it is a bow, and then the bow on the top is encrusted with zircon crystals where your pearl is going to sit in the centre. Okay, so your pearl is going to sit right in the middle of that bow there on that ring. I hope you're happy with that one as well. You wanted that one. Oh, I love that. I'm glad you're happy with him then. So he's come with 2 oysters as well. So let me just get these open for you. Okay, so oyster number 1. There's one side. And the other side. And in oyster number 1, you are twinning. And you're twinning with lighter rose gold twins there. Now visually they already look like they are slightly different sizes, these rose golds. But twinning rose gold twins to start with. And then moving on to oyster number 2 from Mr. Muscles Bags of Plenty. There's one side. Lisa, bless you, thank you for the stars. And the other side. Samantha, you've got a runaway and another. You are twinning for a 4th time, but 2nd time from this bag of plenty. Wow, 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 wow. And you've got sea green twins here. Again, they look slightly visually different in size. So when I measure them, you can let me know the larger or the smaller of each one, of course, which one you'd like on the jewellery. So rose gold twins and sea green twins. Samantha, what do you think to all of these? If I pop these ones on the board, the visually smaller rose gold is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6. He's a 6.5. And the visually larger rose gold is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7. He's a 7.5. Visually smaller sea green is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7, not a 7.5, he's an 8. Visually larger sea green is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7, not a 7.5, he's an 8 as well. So they're kind of the same size there, but they do visually look slightly different. Does that help at all? I don't know if that's what you meant. I can possibly move that closer, like that. Does that help at all? So the greens are the same size. That's the larger rose gold and that's the visually smaller rose gold. The bigger rose gold on the ring. Of course you can. Oh. Of course you can. Let me write that down for you. So on the ring, we're going to have the larger rose gold. Perfect. Samantha, I've got that down for you. Alison, bless you. Thank you for the stars there. Now, Samantha, I hope you'll be happy with everything once it arrives. Thank you for the donations with your shells as well. You're very, very welcome. And that's safe up there for you. Perfect. Okay, so up next then this evening is Jennifer Danigal. Jennifer, are you here? Whee! Oh, the greens on earrings. Jennifer, please bear with me a moment. Samantha, what earrings would you like? Sorry, I didn't see that before. Greens on earrings. What earrings would you like, Samantha? Comments are running slow. Okay, thank you. Now I know to sort of slow myself down slightly. You'll email me, Samantha. Yes, of course you can. If I just put here, check email for greens, then that way I'll remember to keep a eye out that the greens would like to go on some jewellery. Samantha, again, I hope you'll be happy with everything once it arrives, okay? Perfect. And Jennifer, you're here. Hello, hello, hello. So you have 17 oysters altogether. So that's 5, 9, 13, 17. I just had to count that on my fingers for the last 4. It's been a long week. Okay, so, and I don't have to measure them. Oh, bless you. Thank you. Would you like to keep or would you like to donate your shells? So these are the Nunu, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Then you've got the Expand the Rainbow. 1, thank you, 2, 3 and 4. We'll open up these 8 first and then we'll do the rest. I'm going to keep that pinned comment there to remind me. So we've got the 4 Nunu and 4 Expand the Rainbow. I can't plug anything into that. I've plugged the lights in twice. The lights have gone out twice, so I'm not trusting that at the moment. Okay. I don't know what's going on, but that turned off as well and that's come back on, but I don't really want to plug anything else into it just in case. We'll have a look after the live. Is that all right? Mm-hmm. Thank you. Sorry. Donate. Cleaning would take forever. Bless you. Okay, right. Are there certain colours you're hoping for? So like I say, we're opening up the Nunu and the Expand to start with, and then I'll grab the other ones afterwards. Hopefully we can fit them all in the sand. Unless there's lots of multiples, then we may have to move them out the sand as well. But we'll see how it goes. Okay, so just getting these ones open. Okay, perfect. So let's go down. So we'll start with the Nunu Rainbow Oysters, which are these 4. Then the Expand the Rainbow Oysters, which are these 4. Okay, so, oh, that's just a piece of the shell there. Nunu Rainbow Oyster number 1. There's one side. And the other side. And then if we get this open here, your first oyster, you have a coral. And there's no more in that one. So your first oyster, you have a coral, my lovely. Then moving on to oyster number 2. There's one side and the other side. Oh, and in here you have a Pepsi blue, and there's no more in that one. And let me dry him up and hold him up so you can see. So a coral and a Pepsi blue. Almost looks like he's got purple in him. So maybe a slightly lighter blurple, but I definitely think it's got more blue to him. Moving on to your next oyster. So there's one side and the other side. And in here you have a two-tonal chocolate bronze. So he's got like a chocolate bronze tone to him with a silver two-tonal section. So let me just dry him up for you. If I hold him up so you can see, that's the more silvery section, goes round into that chocolate bronze, then we get lighter again with that silvery section there. Okay, then the last of the Nunu rainbow oysters. There's one side and the other side. Ooh, and in here you have a gold. And there's no more in that one. Yep, Katie, I can move you to the end. I can add you, sorry, to the end of the order list. That's not a problem. So here is your gold. Okay, so then moving on to the 4 expand the rainbow oysters. No, what are you doing? Oh. Expand the rainbow oyster number 1. There's one side and the other side. And in here, it looks like we've got more of a rose gold colour to him there. And there's no more in that one. Let me hold, oh, nearly spilt the sand then. Let me just put the pearls back in line. I've got sand all over the desk, but it's okay. If I just show you, they're there, they just went out of line. So you have a rose gold. Moving on to your next expand the rainbow oyster. There's one side. No, I can see the resemblance, Jennifer. And the other side. And in here you have a apple green, and there's no more in that one. Let me dry the apple green up for you. Moving on to your next expand the rainbow oyster. Joanne, bless you. Thank you for the stars there. Oh. There's one side and the other side. And in here you are twinning. And you're twinning with purple pearls. There's no more in that one. Now these are close to blurple. However, you can definitely see that they've got more of a purple tone to them. I'm just going to pop them straight in the sand so you can have a close look at those purples. Beautiful. And then moving on to the last of your Expand the Rainbow oysters. Oh, apparently I'm a little bit klutzy today. Oh, okay, so there's one side and the other side. And in here you have a two-tonal icy blue. Okay, and there's no more in that one. So let's just do a little recap of these colours before we move on to the next oysters. So here's your two-tonal icy blue. Now he does go lighter and then slightly darker again as you go around that oyster. Can I squeeze these ones on the same row so we can see which ones have come from where? I can. Okay, so top row is the Nunu Rainbow Oysters. Second row is the Expand the Rainbow Oysters. So top row you have a coral, Pepsi blue, two-tonal chocolate bronze and silver, and then a gold. And then you have twinning purples, apple green, rose gold, and two-tonal icy blue. So let me bring you back up again and we'll grab the rest of the oysters. So we're going for four normal, sorry. Then 1 and 2, 3 and 4, and then 5 mystery. 1 and 2. Oh, 3, 4 and 5. Okay, so again, just let me get these open for you. I know, I don't know what's... Today's been quite a nice day. It's quite been... I've done some work, I've done some family time, I've done some house bits. Like, it's been quite a nice day today. So yeah, apparently I'm just going klutzy this evening. Oh, okay, I forgot another update. I completely forgot to send the dispatched emails. I'm so sorry. So the items which were sent on Friday at the post office, the dispatched emails have still not been sent. I'm so sorry. I was meant to do them on Saturday and I completely forgot until this evening when we were having dinner. And then of course that wasn't enough time to then do it in between then and the live. So that will get sent tomorrow. So yeah, I'm ever so sorry. Okay, so Jennifer, let's go down and we're gonna do we'll do the normal oysters and then we'll do the mystery oysters last. So normal oyster number 1. There's one side and the other side. Oh, and a runaway. So you have 1 and 2. You are twinning. And you're twinning with more creamy coloured pearls there. Let me dry these up for you. They are. They've got that slight creamy hint to them there. Love the normal colours. I hope you're happy with all the ones that come out today. Moving on to normal oyster number 2, Jennifer. There's one side and the other side. And in here, you are twinning for a 3rd time. And there's no more in that one. Now these are pinky rose gold twins here. Again, let me just pop them in the sand. See if you can see, they've got that like pinky rose gold tone. So this one up here was a rose gold. You can see that that one's got slightly more pinky tones to him. Okay, so then moving on to your next normal oyster. Kaylee, I hope he feels better soon. And Keely, hello. There's the other side. And in here, oh, you have a darker pinky rose gold, a single pearl in that one. So again, let me just hold him up so you can have a closer look. And then moving on to the last of your normal oysters. There's one side and the other side. And in here you are twinning. And again, twinning with, oh, they're not quite white. They do sort of have that creamy tone to them. However, they do look slightly larger than the first set. So if I put them here, so let's do a quick recap of the normal colours that have just come out. You've got a cream set of twins and a pinky rose gold set of twins. You've then got a single pinky rose gold and then a second set of creamy twins. But you can see here they're visually slightly larger there. Okay. And then moving on to the last set of oysters, which are 5 mystery oysters. Okay. Sorry, just moving the sand that's on my desk so I can pop that there. So, oyster number 1. We have a lighter pop there. And in oyster number 1, you are twinning 1 and 2. Now, it looks like you're twinning with darker forest green twins here. There's no more in that one. They are the darker forest green twins. I'm going to have to pop them next to these ones here. Then moving on to the next mystery oyster. We have a lighter pop there. And there is your mother of pearl. And let's have a squidge in here. You have a grape purple. And there's no more in that one. So again, let me just dry this up for you. So you have a grape purple. Moving on to your next oyster. You have a lighter pop there. Ooh, and in here, there's your mother of pearl. Now I can see 1, 2 and 3. And you have triples. You have got 3 pearls in the 1 oyster there. Now you have a lighter, actually if I just show you them one by one, that'll be easier. You have a lighter purple. You have a larger gold. Now this looks visually slightly larger than the gold you got at the start. And then you have a brighter icy blue. So you've got a 2-tonal lighter icy blue. That one's definitely brighter than the other icy blue you have. So 2 oysters to go. So a light double pop there. And in here, there's your mother of pearl. And let's have a squidge in here. Oh, you have a silver. And there's no more in that one. There's your silver. And then moving on to your last oyster. Again, a mystery oyster there. So we've got a light pop. And in here, you are ending on twinning. Twinning watermelon twins there. Let me pop those out. And I'm just going to have a squidge as well. So twinning watermelon twins. There's no more in that one. Now, Jennifer, I am going to go through them, and if you'd like to take a screenshot as well, I'll sort of hold the pearls still at each section so you can take a screenshot if you would like to. If you would like to swap any of the colours, possibly pop me an email over, that way we can swap them there if that's okay. Or if you do know now, that's fine as well. So from the top, you've got a coral, Pepsi blue, two-tonal chocolate bronze and a gold. I'll hold that there for a second. You then have the twinning purples, apple green, rose gold and two-tonal icy blue. Again, I'll hold that there for a second. And then you've got twinning creams, twinning pinky rose golds, twinning creams again, and a single pinky rose gold. So again, I'll hold that there a second. I hope that this is helpful. I mean, I will hold it all out so you can get all of them in the one screenshot, but I'm just holding it so it's slightly closer. From the Nunu Rainbow Oyster, you then have, from the Mystery Oyster, Nunu Rainbow's up here. You've got twinning forest greens, a grape purple, triple oyster, which was a light purple, gold and bright icy blue. You've then got a silver and twinning watermelons as well. So I'll hold that there for you, so if you'd like to take a screenshot. And then if I come out and get a good angle of all of them, there you go. Jennifer, what do you think to all of these? Are you happy with them? I mean, I can measure the largest and smallest if you'd like me to. Definitely one of these purples looks to be quite large. He's not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7. Not a 7, not a 7.5. He's not an 8.5. Good job I measured him because you have a 9. You are in the 9 club, which means if you keep that purple, you get the 9 club badge. Ooh, ooh. So this is our exclusive 9 club. So that's that purple. I mean, I'm going to measure his twin as well. So if you keep these purple, or that purple, you get to keep the 9 club badge. So his twin is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7. Oh, not a 7. He's an 8.5. So he's not a 9. His twin is. The apple green next to them, though, is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7, not a 7.5, not an 8. He's an 8.5 as well. So they're definitely the largest with your 9 club purple there. Just confirm for me, are you keeping that purple? If so, you get to keep the badge, just so I can package that up. And the visually smallest, we're going to measure the coral. He's not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5. He's a 7. Twin cream is not a 5. Oh, not a 5.5, not a 6. He's a 6.5. However, his twin is a 7. So they are different sizes. So I'm going to say, oh, and we'll measure the grape purple as well. He's not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6. He's also a 6.5. So your largest is the 9. Your smallest is the 6.5s. You're going to keep them all perfect. You'll email you because you don't want them loose. You'll pick some items. Oh, okay, that's not a problem. You get to have your badge as well. Let me bring you back up, and I'm just going to package them in oyster colours. So what oysters they came out of. That way when you email me, we can go Nunu Rainbow, expand the rainbow. Then with the normals, we'll put the smaller creams and the rose gold twins in one bag. And then the larger cream twins and the single rose gold in another bag. And then all the mystery can go in the same bag there. Don't worry guys, with these bags, they are all reused. I don't know if you've ever seen, but they've all got like staple marks in them because I just reuse them and take the staples out. Jennifer though, oh, and your 9 club badge. Whoop, whoop. Okay, well, I'm glad you're happy with all of those. I'll keep an eye out for an email. And if you change your mind and you just prefer them to have them all loose, which is absolutely fine, do pop me an email over though, because I won't send this now until I've heard from you either way. Okay, because that way it doesn't get packaged up before you send the email. So yeah, tell me either way. Okay. Love, love, love them all. You're very, very welcome, my lovely. If I just put here to check emails. And thank you very much for the donations for the shells as well. That's all safe up there for you. And we have a 9. I need to refill the 9 Club badge pot, which is in this room. So hopefully if we get another 9 tonight, I'll refill it. Oh, I'm all excited now. Okay, so let me see if my tea's ready. Up next is a mystery person. Needed a tea then. Okay, so mystery person. So I'm looking for Sonia Bernard. Sonia, are you here? Oh, bless you, Kate. Thank you. Loyalty cards, yes. So to get a loyalty card, you just order an item of jewellery, and then you get sent a card. Then each item of jewellery you order, you get a little sticker to fill up the card. There's 6 spaces on the card. Then when they're all filled, write your name and date across the front of the card, take a photo, send it to me, and you'll get a free oyster opening. Okay, so yeah, and there's not a time, so you don't have to sort of do it in a certain amount of time. You can have that card and fill it up over time. You don't need to do it sort of in 6 months or something. It can be quite a long time. Oh, Vicky, she's there with you. Perfect. So Sonia, hello, hello, hello. You would like Mr. Love Eyes. I'll grab him for you in just a second. First of all, I have a message for you, Sonia. So it says, happy early 60th birthday. I love you, Mum. From Vicky, Simon, Prince and Tinks and Little Bean. So I'll read that again. So happy early 60th birthday. I love you, Mum. From Vicky, Simon, Prince and Tinks and Little Bean. So you would like Mr. Love Eyes. Let's go to the camera. Mr. Love Eyes is at the top here. So that's this one here. Ooh, actually, let's bring you over here. Ooh, ooh. Would you like to keep or would you like to donate your shells? So Mr. Love Eyes has a yellow parcel there. Oh, Vicky, I hope you feel better soon. And Sonia, I hope you're happy with what comes out, and happy early birthday from us as well. So, Mr. Love Eyes, let's go down. Would you like to keep or would you like to donate your shells? Nope, Barbara, it's absolutely fine. Not a problem. So let's get this open for you. So you have 2 oysters and some earrings. So let's have a little look. Oh, these are another new pair of earrings. Not on the website yet, but they will be soon. Donating the shells, perfect. So these are stud back earrings, as you can see here. They're 925 silver. And again, before I turn them around, they are interchangeable earrings. So if you have any of the pearl stud earrings, you'll be able to swap and change them around with these earrings, which means you can have all the different sort of colours to match your outfit, and then still have this style coming underneath. So it's like, so I'm going to say it's almost like petals which are coming down, and then you've got zircon crystals in the centre there. Your pearls are obviously the stud part at the top, and then like I say, this section of the earring can come away and then can go on to other studs as well. So you can sort of interchange and change them around. I hope you're happy with those. They are lovely. Okay, so that's safe back in there. And 2 oysters alongside those. Now, with our bags of plenty and earrings, we do allow the colour swaps to match one of these colours. So if you don't get twins, you can swap one of your pearls to match the other one to have matching colours for the earrings if you would like to. Now do keep in mind, because you can swap the studs around, you don't then have to have matching if you prefer to have odds, but it's completely your choice. So we'll see what comes out and then you can let us know at the end. So donating the shells, oyster number 1. There's one side. Sophie, hello. And the other side. And to start with, I saw a little flash. You are twinning. Sonia, beautiful sunshine yellow twins there. And there's no more in that one. And that kind of matches, in my opinion, the style of that earring. It's almost like a sunburst. In fact, that could be the name of the earrings, Sunburst. We haven't named them yet, because like I said, they're new to go onto the website. Oh, I quite like that name actually, if I remember it, Sunburst. So let me pop them in here for you. And again, we'll see what comes out of the other oyster so you can make your decision. But beautiful sunshine yellow twins. Moving on to oyster number 2. There's one side and the other side. Ooh, and you have a hot pink, and there's no more in that one. So Sonia, you can either have the sunshine yellows on the earrings, or we can swap one yellow to match this hot pink, and then you can have the hot pinks on the earrings. So it's completely your choice. What do you think? What do you think to that? Let me pop them on the board for you as well. So sunshine yellow number 1 is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, he's a 7. Sunshine yellow number 2 is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, he's a 7. So they're the same sizes there. And your hot pink is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7, not a 7.5, not an 8, he's an 8.5. Sue, thank you for the stars there. Oh, sorry, I just looked over. I realised I was missing the pink then on the camera. Ever so sorry. Let me bring you back up. And you can think she'll have the twins. Prefer to have the twins on there. The yellows, Sonia. Perfect. Okay, so let me pop this on here for you and I'll write that down. I do hope you're happy with those. So we're going to have the yellows on there, and with the interchangeable part, it's very easy. Just take the butterfly clip off the back of the earring like normal, and then that section just slides off the post, and then just slides on again. So it's got like a little hole where the post can slide in and out, so then you can just change it that way. And then obviously to keep them on the earrings, just pop the butterfly clip clasp back on the back of the earring. Okay, just to obviously, as you do, stop it sliding off, but you would do anyway with earrings to help to wear them. So Sonia and Vicky, I hope you'll be happy with everything once it arrives, and thank you very much for the donations with your shells as well. Oh, bless you, Sonia. Sending healing thoughts your way, Vicky, as well. Oh, bless you. Right, okay. Up next then this evening is Kerry McEntergart. Kerry, are you here? Very welcome, Sonia. And Kerry, hello, hello, hello. So you have a bags of plenty. Let's go and have a look here. So the bags that are left, let me just move that one over. You have Mr. Shocked, Pink Smiles, and Mr. Winky Face, Mr. Nervous, Mr. Happy, Mr. Licky Face, and Yellow Smiles. I don't know if you can see Yellow Smiles down there. He is here. There we go. Do a little jump there, Mr. Yellow. I don't know how to make him stay up. So, actually, I can pop him up here. There you go. Sort of. Hang on. There we go. Hopefully you guys can see that. I'll go through the names again because I've moved them around now. So, Mr. Shocked, Mr. Shocked, Mr. Pink Smiles, Mr. Winky Face and Yellow Smiles, Mr. Nervous, Mr. Happy and Mr. Licky Face. No, this is a little itchy, this is my grabby hand. This is the thing I use to itch my face when I've got the gloves on and been touching oysters. So because it extends, it extends and goes short again. I thought it was perfect as a little pointer. Can you have Mr. Licky Face? Of course you can. Let's bring you back over. And Mr. Licky Face is this one here. Would you like to keep or would you like to donate your shells? You also have a yellow parcel there. Okay, so let's go down your parcel. Okay, donate, Kerry. Perfect. So you have 1 and 2 oysters and some earrings. Now, supporters may have seen these earrings the other day because I was asking for names for these earrings. Though we still haven't picked a name and they are new to go on the website. Okay, so I'm just seeing if I can hang them off here. Okay, oh, let me move them away from each other. Oh, still a bit further. They're quite wide earrings. So these are unnamed, as I say. Now to start with, they are hook back earrings, 925 silver, and your pearl is going to be, see this little circle at the top here, your pearl dangles in the centre there from that circle. Now if I give you sort of a rotation of these, they are quite wide because the twists go around and in. If you can you see that? So if I just show you one, so front of the earring twists around and if I bring you back up, you can sort of, oh I don't know if you can see. You see they're quite a nice size. They've sort of got some width to them as well. So I hope you're happy with those. Like I said, they didn't go because they're quite big for the card, so they don't go on the mounting card just yet. They will do so when they get packaged though. Okay, so you've got 2 oysters alongside those. So let's get these open. And we're donating the shells. So Kerry, your first oyster. There's one side and the other side. Ooh, and in here you are twinning. There's none on that side. Now you're twinning with 2-tonal purpley blurpley twins. There's no more in that one. Egg beater earrings. You know what, Jerry? That is a. I wouldn't call them egg beater earrings, but that is a brilliant description of them because they do sort of have that shape to them, that sort of whisk shape. Yes, that's amazing. Thank you for that description. I'll keep that one to describe them. So Kerry, twin number 1, you've got a purple, but it's like blurple 2-tonal sections because you've got lighter and darker areas as you go around these. So they've both got different markings, but they're both the same colouring there. Okay, so purple blurple twins to start with. Then moving on to the oyster number 2, purpley blurpley. There's one side and the other side. Oh, and in here you are twinning for a second time. These, however, are slightly different in colours. So they're autumn peach twins. You've got one bright autumn peach and then one lighter, almost pastel-y autumn peach colour. So again, if I pop these in the sand and then if I move the purplies over, you can have a look here. Now if you would like me to match the autumn peaches, I can do so, but of course if you're happy with the purples on there or even happy with the peaches as they are, just let me know what you think and which ones you'd like on those earrings. If I pop them on the board, the purples, pearl number 1 is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7, not a 7.5, not an 8, he's an 8.5. Purple number 2 is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7, not a 7.5, not an 8. He's also an 8.5. Moving on to the autumn peaches, the brighter of the two is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7, not a 7.5, not an 8. He's an 8.5. And the lighter of the two is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7, not a 7.5, not an 8. He's an 8.5 as well. Okay, Kerry, what do you think and what would you like to do? But it's the perfect description of them, Luke. I'm just going to bring you back up again. Oh, they're beautiful. Can you have purples on the earrings? And can you have hoop fittings on the other two? Of course you can. Let me just pop them in here. Hoop fittings. So we're going to have purple on it there. And on hoop fittings. Perfect. I've got that down for you, Kerry. The invoice will get sent through tomorrow for you, and it will go to the email address that's on the order form. Thank you for the donations with your shells, and that's safe up there for you, so I hope you'll be happy with everything once it arrives as well. Okay. And up next then this evening is Dorothy Dixon. Dorothy, are you here? Dorothy, hello, hello, hello. Okay, so Dorothy, you have one opening altogether. What type of oyster would you like? And would you like to keep or would you like to donate your shells? Keep the shells, not a problem. So we've got mystery oysters, which are a mix of all the colours. We've got the Nunu rainbow oysters, which are darker rainbow colours. Expand the rainbow oysters, which are lighter rainbow colours. Normal oysters, which are sort of more natural colours. So you've got natural colours, light rainbow, dark rainbow, or mystery, which is sort of a mix of all of them. Which ones would you like? Good morning, Beverly. Mystery. Okay, perfect, Dorothy. Is there a certain colour that you're hoping for, my lovely? Let's get this open and let's go down. So your mystery oyster, we have a lighter pop there. And there's your mother of pearl. Now there's a little bit of flesh in here, but I can see that you have a pearl straight away. He is a darker pearl. Now the flesh is coming away beautifully already. Perfect. Okay, so there's your shells cleaned up. Let me pop those to the side. Now your pearl, he looks like he's a darker chocolate there. He is. He's a darker chocolate, my lovely. Now you're hoping for a blue. So if you're not happy with this one, we can swap him for you. So I can get a blue. That's not a problem. So just let me know what you think and what you would like to do. So I'll measure your chocolate. He's not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6. He's a 6.5. Now, like I say, if you're not happy with that one, I can grab a blue for you. Just let me know if you prefer to have a lighter or a darker blue? Caroline, bless you. Thank you for the stars there. A lighter blue. Okay, so if I grab you a light icy blue, have a look at this one, my lovely, and just let me know if this is the correct shade and if you'll be happy with this one here. If not, I can go possibly maybe a touch lighter, or I've got slightly darker ones as well. What do you think to that one? Just a bit darker, that's absolutely fine. I'm just looking to see if I've got another shade, but I think that these ones more look like okay, so I've given you two extra options here. So that's the first one that you said a bit darker to. Now we've got, this is a bright icy blue, or we've got a Pepsi blue. So the bright icy blue or the Pepsi blue, are either of those okay? Bright icy blue or Pepsi blue. What? Nearly went then. Let me put the lighter one back. The Pepsi blue, perfect. The Pepsi blue is yours then, my lovely. Okay, let me just bring you back up again, and that one is yours. If I pop him on here. Jodie, bless you. Thank you for the stars there. I'm just wrapping up your shells as well for you, Dorothy. And popping your name on there. Okay, perfect. So I hope that you'll be happy with everything once it arrives, my lovely. That's safe up there for you, and your shells are up there as well. And like I say, I hope you'll be happy with everything once it arrives. Okay, up next then is Diane Brown. Diane, are you here? Dorothy, you're very, very welcome. Now I'm just having a little look. Oh, wrong one. Because I think so I'm just having a quick look if it loads quicker. It's just loading. Okay, so Bags of Plenty wise, we've still got 2 available for tonight. If anybody would like to grab one, there's 2 available on the website at the moment for tonight. Diane, you're here as well. Hello. So you've got 1 opening altogether. Mystery and Donate Your Shells. Diane, are there certain colours that you're hoping for? Let me get him open for you. And let's go down. So good luck, my lovely. Your mystery oyster. Oh, quite a nice sharp pop there. Oh, did you see that? As I opened it, you had 1 roll out this side, 1 roll out this side. You are twinning. I don't think that's ever happened before. They've just like that. Twinning with darker twins there, Diane. Now I'm just having a squidge. Oh, flesh is quite loose, but no, there's no more in that one there. And let me dry this up for you. So you are twinning with darker gunmetal grey twins. Now this one on this side looks like he's got a slight bit of purple in him, but definitely both base darker gunmetal greys. They decided to part ways. I'm free. What do you think to these, Diane? Now, if you're happy with these colours, that's perfect. I'll need to know if you prefer to have the one with the slightly purple in it or the more darker gunmetal grey one on the jewellery. Or if you're not happy with these, I can swap them for you. So the darker gunmetal grey is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7, not a 7.5, he's an 8. And the one with the slightly more purple in him is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7, not a 7.5, not an 8. He's an 8.5. What do you think? Can you swap the darker one for a red, please, and have them both on the jewellery and you'll pay extra? Of course you can. Not a problem. I've grabbed you a black cherry. Would you be happy with that one there? I've grabbed you a black cherry because if you look at them together, that sort of shade of red there goes beautifully with the purple. However, if you prefer to have a slightly brighter red, I can grab one for you. So that's just my opinion, but of course they're your pearls. So just let me know. Like I say, if you prefer to have a brighter red, let me know. Just going to bring you back up so I can write that information down though. So we're going to have okay, so we're going to have both of them on the jewellery, and I've got down to invoice you for that extra fitting. That's not a problem. Just confirm for me if you're happy with that shade. Perfect, perfect. Thank you, Luke, for commenting on that. Diane, sorry, I didn't think your comment came through to me the first time. Well, I've got that all down for you, and the invoice will get sent through for you tomorrow, and that will go to the email address that's on the order form, okay? That's safe up there for you, and I hope you'll be happy with everything once it arrives as well. Okay, perfect. And up next then this evening is Sean Cummings. Sean, are you here? Sean Cummings, are you here? Angela, they'll be going up soon. Like I said, we've been naming them in the supporters, and there are photos and everything already, so they will be going on the website soon. Sean, you're actually on time. Oh, bless you. You'd like mystery oysters. I did just count them, but let me just double check. So you've got 1, 2, 3 oysters all together. Would you like to keep, or would you like to donate your shells? And are there certain colours you're hoping for, Sean? Yep, Mary, that's not a problem. So I'll do an updated order list when I get near the end of this order list. I don't think that's too far away, actually. Only another couple of people. So you'll hear, if you stay on, you'll hear whereabouts you are shortly. Okay. So, Sean, 3 mystery oysters. Would you like to keep, or would you like to donate your shells? And are there certain colours you're hoping for? Let's go down. Mystery oyster number 1. You have quite a nice sharp pop there. Oh, and straight away, there's your mother of pearl. Donate the shells. Perfect. Now, straight away, I can see the flesh has come away there as well, actually. A beautiful bright green, or apple green, I should say, pearl there. Let me dry him up for you. So a bright apple green pearl. Moving on to mystery oyster number 2. And you have a light double pop there. There's your mother of pearl. And let's have a squidge. Oh, in here you have a coral and you're twinning. And there's no more in that one. You are twinning with coral twins there. So let me just pop these in here for you. Open to all colours, but would like one kind of neutral colour. Okay, so we'll see what comes out. Then you can let me know what you would like to do at the end. So then moving on to your last oyster, which again is your mystery oyster. You have a light double pop there. And in here, there's your mother of pearl. And I can see at the top here, you have a little peeper, and he is a sea green. and there's no more in that one. Okay, so you've got a apple green, a sea green, and twinning corals. So I'm just going to pop them in the sand for you. Sean, what do you think to these? Now, if you're happy with those, that's perfect. I'll need to know which ones you'd like where. If you're not happy, however, I can swap them for you. So that's going to be completely up to you what you would like to do. If I pop these ones on the board, coral number 1 is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, he's a 7. Coral number 2 is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, he's a 7, so they're the same size there. You then have the apple green, he's not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7, not a 7.5, not an 8, he's an 8.5. And the sea green is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, he is a 7. Okay, so Sean, what do you think to those? Shannon, bless you. Thank you for the stars there. Mary, if you've ordered a normal order, then yep, it'll be added on tonight. If you've ordered a Bags of Plenty, then as long as obviously you've selected Sunday the 4th, then that will definitely be done tonight as well. If you selected a different date, however, that will be done on the different date. So it just depends on what you've ordered, but I'll definitely be adding any normal order, should I say, on tonight. I think I've confused that, but hopefully you understood what I meant. Swap the apple green for a rose gold. You can indeed. And which colours would you like where? I've given you sort of a darker rose gold there. Hopefully that one's okay. And if so, which colours would you like where? Or if you prefer, you can take a screenshot of these and then you can email me your colour choices if you would like to. Helen, bless you. Thank you for the stars there, my lovely. Swap one twin for a watermelon. That's fine. Let me just locate the watermelon. And do you know which ones you would like where? Thank you, Bronnie. slide to the right, slide to the left, don't do it. 2 hops this time, boop. Watermelon, oh, let me bring you back up so I can write this down for you. So we're going to have, thank you, watermelon on there, coral on there, and rose gold on there. Perfect. I've got that all down for you then, my lovely. Let me just pop your pearls. Just grabbing the right bag. There we go. Pop your pearls in here for you. And I do hope you'll be happy with everything, my lovely, once it arrives. So that's safe on there. And then that's up there for you as well. Perfect. And thank you very, very much for the donations with your shells as well. No, you're very, very welcome. Okay, perfect. Sorry about that then. Right, up next then this evening is Sharon Lamb. Sharon, are you here? Sorry, I've got an itchy lip. Not lip. What's that section called above your lip? In between your nose and lip. Must have a name. I'm looking for Sharon Lamb. Sharon, hello. So Sharon, you have a bags of plenty. So the bags which are left are Mr. Shocked, Pink Smiles, Mr. Winky Face, Yellow Smiles, Mr. Nervous, and Mr. Happy. Which one would you like? And would you like to keep or would you like to donate your shells, my lovely? So if I go through again, you've got Mr. Shocked, Pink Smiles, Mr. Winky Face, Mr. Yellow Smiles, Mr. Nervous, and Mr. Happy. Now the faces are on that image above as well, with the sort of names there as well, if you would like to sort of have a little look. Hopefully you guys can see this and it's clear enough. Let me know what you think and which one you would like. Mr. Winky Face. Perfect. Let me grab that down for you and bring you back across. So Mr. Winky Face, donate the shells. Perfect. So in here you have a yellow parcel. Okay, so let's go down. So in here, and you have a ring as well, Sharon, with 1 and 2 oysters there. So you have a ring with 2 oysters. So your ring, oh, I want to say it's called the Stronger as One ring, but I am not 100%. Let me go through. So again, this is a 925 silver ring. It's an adjustable to one size from the back of the ring there, and it's got a single band halfway round the ring. That's because from the front of the ring, your pearl gets set in the center, and then your single band turns into 3 bands on both sides, and they sort of go into this wave effect. Now, of those 3, 2 of those are then lined with zircon crystals, and then you've got the third line solid. I hope you're happy with this one, Sharon, my lovely. And like I say, you've got 2 oysters alongside that, so you have at least 2 colours to pick from to go on that ring. You love it. Perfect. I do hope you're happy. So let's get these oysters open. Oyster number 1. There's one side. It is the Stronger as One ring. Thank you. And the other side. And in your first oyster, you are twinning. And you're twinning with Black Cherry Twins there. And there's no more in that one. Now, visually, straight away, they do look like they're slightly different sizes to each other. But twinning Black Cherry Twins there. Let me hold these up so you can have a closer look. Beautiful. Then moving on to oyster number 2. Again, from your Bags of Plenty, Sharon. There's one side and the other side. And in here you are twinning for a second time, and you're twinning with Blurple Twins there. Again, they're slightly two-tonal Blurples, so they've got lighter and darker areas as you go around the pearl. Now I'm just drying these up, so then I'll show you them each individually. So pearl number 1, if you can see here, you've got lighter areas and then darker areas as you go around. And then pearl number 2 again is the same sort of colouring, slightly different markings, but you're not going to get them the exact same with the markings there. Okay, so what do you think to these, Sharon? I'll need to know which one you would like on your jewellery, on your ring, but the other 3 are yours as well. So if I pop them on the board for you. Blurple number 1 is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7, not a 7.5, not an 8, he's an 8.5. Blurple number 2, which is slightly more two-tonal, I would say, is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7, not a 7.5, not an 8, he's an 8.5 as well. The visually slightly smaller Black Cherry is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, he's a 7. And the visually slightly larger Black Cherry is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7, he's a 7.5. So would you like the larger or the smaller Black Cherry, or the more two-tonal or less two-tonal? I don't think that's the correct phrase, but hopefully you know what I mean. Blurple pearl. Philtrum. Is that right, Angela? Philtrum. Gail, I'm glad you and Mandy are happy. Perfect. Philtrum. It's quite a strange name for it, actually, but I suppose it would be if I've never heard of it before. What do you think to those, my lovely? Can you have the more two-tonal blurple? Of course you can. Let me bring you back up here. And if I write this down for you. Nope, on here. Okay, perfect. Okay, so Sharon, my lovely, I hope you'll be happy with everything once it arrives. That's safe up there for you, and I've got that all down for you as well. You're very, very welcome, and thank you for the donations with your shells as well. And up next on this evening is Danielle Lancaster. Danielle, are you here? Danielle Lancaster, are you here? You're very welcome, Mandy. I did get the email about the loyalty cards. That's not a problem. We'll do your bags of plenty first, however, if that's okay, Danielle. So the bags that are left are Mr. Shocked, Pink Smiles, Yellow Smiles, Mr. Nervous and Mr. Happy. Which one would you like, and would you like to keep or would you like to donate your shells? So that's Mr. Shocked, Pink Smiles, Yellow Smiles, Mr. Nervous and Mr. Happy. Can you have Mr. Happy and donate the shells? Of course you can. So Mr. Happy is this one here. Let's get him open. You also have a yellow parcel. And let's go down, Danielle. So in here, it's just okay. So you have a pendant and 1 and 2 oysters. So a pendant with 2 oysters here. Now this pendant is sort of it's going to be, let me show you. Now it's going to be backwards for you guys, but hopefully you're going to be able to see. So this is a movable pendant. So if I move it up, the first half is hearts. So you can see you've got the hearts on the first disc, shall we say. On the second disc, it says, I love you. Actually, if I hold it this way round, that should then, yeah, there you go, you can see that. It says, I love you. However, when you place the discs together, I'm going to have to show you this way. The I love you goes on top, but again, it's going to be backwards for you guys. So your pearl actually then sits at the top here and dangles around, and your pendant, your pendant can then move around as well. So it's a sort of, I do love movable items. So the I love you pendant, and then your pearl goes at the top there. Danielle, I hope you're happy with that one. And then, like I say, it comes with 2 oysters as well. So let me just open these up for you. And your first oyster. There's one side and the other side. Oh, and your first one, you have a sea green here, and there's no more in that one. So your first pearl is a sea green. Let me hold you up so you can have a closer look. And then moving on to oyster number 2, again from your Bags of Plenty. There's one side and the other side. And in here you are twinning. And you're twinning with blue twins there. And these are actually slightly two-tonal Pepsi blues. So you've got a sea green and twinning two-tonal Pepsi blues. Now I'm going to show you the markings on these blues because one of them is definitely more two-tonal than the other. Okay, so you've got Pepsi blue number 1, which is slightly lighter and darker as you go around there. And then blue number 2, as you can see, is quite a nice deep blue. Then you go round into this lighter, almost silver blue area, and then back round into that deep blue. So you've got a sea green and twinning two-tonal Pepsi blues, one of which is more two-tonal than the other. So if you would prefer to have one of the blues on the jewellery, do let me know if it's the more two-tonal one or the least. I need to work out how to say that correctly. Okay, so if I pop these on the board for you. So sea green is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, he's a 7. Pepsi blue is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7, he's a 7.5. And the more two-tonal blue is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7, not a 7.5, he's an 8. So the blues are slightly different sizes there as well. Mary, your opening is tonight. I've just had a look and you've booked in for the Bags of Plenty with today's date, which means that your opening is tonight. Okay. Danielle, what do you think to those, and which one would you like on the pendant? Sea green on there, of course you can. Let me pop these in here for you. So you also then have additional 4 openings, Danielle. What 4 oysters would you like? And would you like to keep, or would you like to donate those shells? So I'm just writing down that you'd like to have the sea green on there. Perfect. So additional 4 oysters. What 4 oysters would you like? Two mystery, 2 normal, donate the shells, not a problem. Danielle, are there certain colours that you're hoping for? So 2 mystery and 1 and 2 normal. Let me get these open for you. There's 1 and 2, 3 and 4. Okay, perfect. So let's go back down again. Mystery oyster number 1. You have a light pop there. And in your first oyster, there's your mother of pearl. And I can see 2 different colours there. You've got a blush pink and a light purple. And you have a third, and I'm just having a squidge, you have triples. In your first mystery oyster, you have triples, my lovely. So you have a blush pink, a light purple, and a 2-tonal chocolate and purple pearl. So blush pink, light purple, and then a 2-tonal chocolate and purple. Moving on to mystery oyster number 2. And again, a light sharp pop there. And in here, a little bit of flesh on that side, but we can see there's no pearls there. I can see, however, that you're twinning, and twinning with apple green twins. Now again, they're slightly 2-tonal apple greens. You've got lighter and brighter areas as you go around them. They do, however, look very similar in size. So there's your apple greens. And then moving on to your normal oysters. Okay, so normal oyster number 1. There's one side and the other side. And in here you are twinning. And you're twinning with what looks to be more like a natural pink coloured twins here. They are beautiful. Let me just dry them up for you. They are a natural pink twin. There they are in the sand. And then moving on to your last oyster, which again is your normal oyster. There's one side and the other side. And in here you are twinning for a 3rd time. And there's no more in that one. And you're twinning with lighter pinks. So you've got sort of that natural coloured pink. And then these ones are just slightly lighter than the first 2 out by the looks of it. So you've got a set of triples And then 3 sets of twins, Danielle. I hope you're happy with all of these. If I go through them for you, on the top row you've got a blush pink, a light purple, and then a two-tonal chocolate and purple. You've got twinning two-tonal apple greens, twinning natural pinks, and then twinning pinks again, which is slightly lighter than the first set there. What do you think to all of these? And if you're happy, which ones would you like on the jewellery? The two-tonal chocolate and grape is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7, not a 7.5, he's an 8. The light purple is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7, not a 7.5, he's an 8. The pink is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7, not a 7.5, he's an 8 as well. Apple green number 1 is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7, not a 7.5, not an 8. He's an 8.5. Twin number 2 is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7, not a 7.5. He's an 8. So the greens are actually measuring slightly differently there. Pink set 1. Pink twin set 1, twin 1 is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7. He's a 7.5. Twin set 1, twin 2 is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5. He's a 7. So they're measuring slightly differently there as well. Twin set 2, twin 1 is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7. He's a 7.5. And then twin set 2, twin 2 is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7. He's a 7.5. So they're actually the same size there. Okay, so Danielle, what do you think to all of those? And if you're happy, which ones would you like where? Lillian, bless you. Thank you for the stars there, my lovely. It was, Luke, it was. Swap one of the apple greens for a yellow similar size to the other green, and those on the jewellery. Yellow. You can indeed. I'm going for a two-tonal. Oh, that's just slightly larger. Yeah, I'm going to try going for a two-tonal yellow to sort of match. There we go. The two-tonalness of the green, and that way it sort of brings them together more. If that's okay with you, would you be happy with that yellow there? Anne, 15-week streak. Thank you for the stars there. Just confirm for me if you're happy with that yellow. I am, however, going to bring you back up again so I can write that down that we're going to have. Perfect. Yellow. I've kept the twins in separate bags as well, just so we don't mix up the same coloured twins there. Absolutely perfect. Perfect. Okay, so I've got that down for you then, Danielle. Just double checking. Yep, perfect. Thank you for the donations with your shells, and I hope then you'll be happy with everything as well once it arrives. Okay, and up next then this evening is Steph Davies. Steph Davis, are you here? Hello, can you have a mystery and a normal, hoping for a bright red and a possible lavender? Keep the shells. So you do have two openings altogether. So a normal oyster and a mystery. Keeping the shells, no, keep that up here. And you're hoping for a bright red and possible lavender. Okay, let me get this open for you. So, Steph, let's go down. Your mystery oyster, you have a lighter pop there. And in here, your first oyster, I can see straight away that we have a coral pearl. Let me pop him out. And I'm just going to have a squidge around for you as well. And there's no more in that one. So your first oyster has given you a coral. I'm just going to be cleaning the shells as we go as well, okay. So if I hold this pearl up closer so you can have a better look. Here is your coral. And then moving on to oyster number 2, which is your normal oyster. There's one side and the other side. And in here you have a lighter, he's a cream, almost a white, but he does have that slight cream tone to him. There's no more in that one. So again, let me just quickly clean up this shell for you. Now, Steph, you was hoping for a red and a possible lavender. What do you think to these two colours? Now, of course, I'll hold up this cream so you can have a closer look. And if you're happy with these, that's perfect. However, if you're not happy, I can swap them for you. So again, just let me know what you think and what you would like to do. So there they are in the sand, Steph. So the cream is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, he's a 7. And the coral is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7, he's a 7.5. Have a bright red and a lavender. With the lavender, there will definitely be a weight on that. So if you don't mind waiting, I can pop you down for a weight. If you would rather not wait, is there a different colour you prefer to have? I've swapped for a bright red though. Just confirm if that red's okay there for me. I'm very happy to pop you on the waiting list for a lavender, don't get me wrong. I just want to make you aware that there might be a wait to start with. And I'm just wrapping up your shells for you. The red's great. Are you happy to wait for the lavender? Pinkles. There's a weight on pinkles as well. Then sort of light purples and pinkles sort of colours are very popular at the moment. So yeah, there is a weight on those as well, I'm afraid. stick with these two colours, red on the jewellery, and can you have a cream on a hoop fitting? Of course you can. Bless you. Like I say, I don't mind popping you on the waiting list, but that's absolutely fine. Let me do that for you. So red on here and cream on a hoop. Perfect. I've got that down for you, Steph. Again, the invoice will get sent through tomorrow for you, and it will go to the email address that's on the order form, my lovely. Okay, so that's on there. I've wrapped up your shells as well, and then that's safe up there for you. So I also hope that you'll be happy with everything once it arrives as well. Okay, perfect. And up next is Katie Louise. Katie, are you here? After Katie Louise, I will be doing an updated order list. So if you have ordered, I'll do a verbal order list after this one. Oh, bless you, Steph. No, I completely understand. And I do hope you'll still be happy with everything once it arrives. It's just started raining here, so if it gets heavy, you may be able to hear it when it rains. So at the moment though, I can hear it's quite light. Katie, hello. Okay, so Katie, you have a bags of plenty. Which bag would you like, and would you like to keep or would you like to donate your shells? You have Mr. Shocked, Pink Smiles, Yellow Smiles, or Mr. Nervous. Which one would you like? I'll have a look in a moment, Katie, and if so I can add that on, that's not a problem. So Mr. Shocked, Pink Smiles, Yellow Smiles, or Mr. Nervous? Mr. Shocked, please, and donate shells, of course. That's this one up here. So let me bring you back. And Mr. Shocked, let's get him open. You have the yellow parcel. Okay, so let's go down, and in here you have a bracelet. Okay, so your bracelet comes with 2 oysters there. Now with this bracelet, whatever pearls come out of these oysters, you can have all of them or just the one of them on here if you would like to. So that's going to be up to you. So do keep that in mind, Katie, and then you can let me know at the end. Okay, so this bracelet, let me see if I can show you. So it has a textured circle, and that's where we'll be putting the pearls onto. So each textured loop, in between each textured loop is almost like a infinity sign, but it's got a double wrap around in the center there. Now to me it's almost like a rope that you've twisted twice and then made a loop again. So a loop, twist, twist, and then another loop. So that's sort of the decorative section of that bracelet, and then you've got the textured circles, which is where the pearls will go. I hope that makes sense. I hope you'll like this one. Now again, it's 925 silver. It is 7.5 inches long. If you would like an extension chain, I can add one on. There's no extra cost for those. Just let me know so I can do that for you. I hope you're happy with that one. Let me get your oysters open for you. I wouldn't necessarily say posh, Lizzie. Oh, bless you. Thank you, I think. I just like to think of it as very organised. Now I've got my office, I can actually organise and have things how I'd like it to be. So, Katie, oyster number 1. There's one side and the other side. Ooh, and your first oyster has given you a brighter sunshine yellow. And there's no more in that one. So you have a brighter sunshine yellow to start with. Moving on to oyster number 2. There's one side and the other side. Oh, and in here you have an autumn peach. So together, there's no more in that one. These colours actually go really nicely with each other. However, like I said, Katie, you don't have to have them both on there if you don't want to. You can have 1, 2, or even no pearls on the jewellery and just have the pearls loose if you prefer to. So you've got a sunshine yellow and a autumn peach. Katie, what do you think to these? If I pop them on the board for you, the sunshine yellow is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, he's a 7. The autumn peach is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7, not a 7.5, not an 8, he's an 8.5. Oh, bless you, Luke. Well, I hope you're comfy. And hello. Oh, memory. If I get this wrong, I'm so sorry, but I'm going to go for it. Jenna. Hello, Jenna. Oh, if that's wrong though, Luke, I'm ever so sorry. I do try, but I'm not very good with names. Autumn peach on a lobster clasp. So let me just bring you back up. So Katie, to confirm, no pearls on the bracelet, but to just have the autumn peach on a lobster fitting. Is that right? And while you answer that, let me just double check your loyalty cards, and then we can open those as well. That's perfect. It says happy birthday to you. Is it your birthday? I hope you've had a brilliant birthday. The loyalty cards are perfect. We can do them now as well. Oh, Gemma. Oh, so close. So let me just put no pearls on there. However, we're going to have the autumn peach on a lobster. Okay, I've got that down for you, Katie. So 3 oyster openings as well. What 3 oysters would you like? And would you like to keep, or would you like to donate your shells? Yep, I completely understand, my lovely. It's just so I understand, so I can write down the correct thing. May you have 3 mystery and donate. Well, I hope you've had a brilliant day. Happy birthday. 1, 2 and 3. Donating the shells. Is there a certain colour you're hoping for with these ones? Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday. Right, let's go down. So, Katie, mystery oyster number 1. So, quite a nice sharp pop there. And in here, your first oyster has given you, I can see straight away there, we have a lighter purple. Let me have a squidge in here. There's no more in that one, so we have a light purple to start with. And then moving on to oyster number 2. A smaller pop with that one. And, oh, a slight runaway. You have a hot pink runaway. However, I can see that you are twinning. And you're twinning with bright hot pink twins. And there's no more in that one. Lizzie, I'm in my garden. So I've had an office built in my garden. So yeah, the tea deliveries, bless him, he still does bring me tea, bless him. Not so much in the rain, but I don't blame him for that. Okay, so your hot pink twins there, visually one does look slightly larger than the other, but we'll measure them in a moment. Then moving on to your last mystery oyster, Katie. Quite a nice sharp pop there. And in here we have a darker pearl. Let's pop him out. And there's no more in that one. Okay, so if we have a closer look here. And he is a darker silver. Okay, Katie, what do you think to these? Now with these ones we can swap them if you're not happy with them. So you've got a light purple, twinning hot pinks, and a dark, deeper silver. Now if I pop these ones on the board for you, the light purple is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, he's a 7. Hot pink, the visually smaller of the two, is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7, he's a 7.5. Then hot pink number 2 is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7, not a 7.5, not an 8, he's an 8.5. Your dark silver is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, he is a 7. I think there's going to be a weight on the midnight blue, and the denim blue I can have a look. This pot here I've got that I've sort of been pulling the denim blues out. I've got Some of them look more purpley. Okay, have a look here. Like I say, it looks slightly purpley. So there's going to be a wait on the midnight blue. So if you're happy to wait, I can definitely do that for you. If you're not happy to wait, is there a different colour that you'd prefer to have? Just let me know what you think. But is that denim blue there okay as well? What do you think, Katie? What would you like to do? Sorry, I do think I've got a slight delay of my comments here, so I am trying not to ask, like normal, too many questions because I don't want to rush people. So I'm just waiting for that to come through. You'll keep the silver. Okay, I'll bless you. And can you get lobster clasps on all of them? You can indeed. Let me pop that down for you. Okay, perfect. I've got that down. Again, the invoice will get sent through tomorrow for you, and will go to the email address that's on the order form. Katie, again, I hope you've had a brilliant birthday. Thank you for the donations with your shells, and I do hope that you'll be happy with everything once it arrives as well. Okay, so I said I'm going to do an updated order list. Let me just quickly refresh this. And that is perfect. Okay, so up next is Alice Meadows. That's Alice Meadows next. And then it will be Tiffany Gardner. Katie, you're very welcome. Then it will be Jess Courtney. And then it will be Mary Miller. Okay, so go through them again. Alice Meadows, you're up next if you're here. Then Tiffany Gardner, Jess Courtney, and Mary Miller. Okay, so Alice Meadows, are you here? And if anybody can see Alice, please comment on her comments because it will bring it forward so I can see. And Alice, if you're here and you're typing away and I haven't seen you just yet, do type I'm invisible. It will bring your comment forward so I can see you. Do I, Shannon? Thank you. Thank you, Luella. Thank you for watching. So I'm looking for Alice Meadows. Alice, are you here? I keep leaning forward with this camera. Why don't I just bring the camera? There we go. Forward. Because I keep going like this. Whereas if I can sit normally and just bring the camera forward, then that's not an issue. Okay, so I haven't seen Alice. We're going to move on. If she does come on, we can add her in again, but it will be to the end of the order list there. Up next is Tiffany Gardner. Tiffany, are you here? Let's look at the bags as well, actually. Perfect. Tiffany Gardner, are you here? See, I don't know how delayed my comments are, so I don't know how long to sort of wait. Oh, Tiffany, you're here. Perfect. So you have a bags of plenty. We'll do that first if that's okay. There's 3 bags left. If I bring them all down so you can see. You've got Mr. Nervous, Pink Smiles and Yellow Smiles. Which bag would you like, my lovely? And would you like to keep or would you like to donate your shells? So, Mr. Nervous, Pink Smiles and Yellow Smiles. Which one would you like? Mr. Nervous, and donate the shells. Of course you can. So let me just bring you back here, Mr. Nervous. Let's get him open. A yellow parcel. And let's go down. Oh, you also have a bracelet with 1, 2 and 3 oysters. So Tiffany, a bracelet with 3 oysters. Now again, this is a different bracelet here. This actually matches one of our pendants we've got on the website. So if I show you this here, you've got a double heart. So 2 pearls get set on this bracelet. One in the center of each heart there. One heart's encrusted with zircon crystals and one isn't, so you can see they're sort of entwined. You've then got this bracelet on a open curb chain, so it's quite a thin chain bracelet because then it brings the attention forward to your hearts and pearls in the center there. Tiffany, I hope you're happy with that one. And it comes with 3 oysters here, and then I'll need to know the 2 colours to go in those hearts. I hope you're happy with that one. 1, 2 and 3. So let's get these open. Oyster number 1. Oh, and a runaway dark pearl there. Did you see that? It's sort of come out the bottom here as I opened him up. And the other side. And let's have a squidge. Okay, so there's no more in that one. So you've had a darker pearl sort of sneak out the side there. So let me dry this up for you. Now he actually looks... He's a 2-tonal darker gunmetal grey, so he's quite dark, but then he does have these lighter silver areas to him as well. Moving on to oyster number 2. There's one side and the other side. Ooh, and in here you have a lighter gold. And there's no more in that one. Oh, I'm loving the darker gunmetal grey and the gold combination already. So here, oh, let me get it focused. Sorry. There we go. There is your gold. And then moving on to your last oyster. So again, this is going to be an option for you. In here, there's one side and the other side. Oh, we have a darker pearl again. And there's no more in that one. Okay, so let me just dry this one off as well. You have a two-tonal purple. So it's quite dark purple, but you've got this two-tonal purple as you go around there. Okay, so you've got a dark gunmetal grey, a light gold and a dark two-tonal purple. Tiffany, what two would you like on that bracelet? So you've got the gunmetal grey and the gold, which is similar in size actually, then the purple is larger. So if we pop them on the board, gunmetal grey is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, he's a 7. Your gold is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, he's a 7. And then the purple is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7, not a 7.5, he's an 8. So there is that size difference there. What do you think to those, my lovely? Purple and gold on the bracelet, of course you can. Let me bring you back up and I'll write that down for you. So purple and gold on the bracelet. You also then have an additional 2 oysters as well, Tiffany. What 2 oysters would you like with those, my lovely? So purple and gold. Whoop. What do you think? Mystery and donate the shells again, of course you can. Is there certain colours you're hoping for with this one? Bless you. Good night, Lorraine. Thank you for joining us today. So there's 1 and 2. So Tiffany, let's go down again. Perfect. So mystery oyster number 1. We have a lighter pop there. And in here I can see straight away you have a bright hot pink. Quite a nice size there as well. And there's no more in that one. So here is your hot pink. And then moving on to mystery oyster number 2, we have a lighter pop there. Ooh, and in here, oh, there's your mother of pearl. And I can see a little peeper towards the side there as well. And you have a pinkle. So pink and pinkle, now they actually go really well with each other. However, let me know what you think. Now, if you're not happy with these two, we can swap them for you, Tiffany. But have a look at those. So hot pink and pinkle. If I pop them on the board for you, your hot pink is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7, not a 7.5, not an 8. He's an 8.5. And your pinkle is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7, not a 7.5. He is an 8. Watermelon and a light icy blue, of course you can. Okay, can you just confirm if you're happy with these two here for me, Tiffany? So that's quite a nice brighter watermelon and then a lighter icy blue. Are you happy with those two there? I'm just going to bring you back up. Oh, yes, they're perfect. Perfect. Okay, so if I pop these on here for you as well. Tiffany, thank you for the donations with your shells, my lovely. And I hope that you'll be happy with everything as well once it arrives. And that's safe up there for you. And up next is Jess Courtney. Jess, are you here? Jess Courtney, are you here? Hello! Hi Jess, my lovely. You also have a bags of plenty for today. So you've got pink smiles or yellow smiles. Which one would you like? So pink smiles or yellow smiles. And would you like to keep or would you like to donate your shells? Good night, Luella. Thank you for joining us today. Pink smiles, Jess, and donate the shells. Perfect. So this is pink smiles here. Let's get him open. So in here you have a red parcel. And let's go down to get him open. So in here you have a pendant, and you have a pendant with 1, 2, and 3 oysters. So your pendant holds 1 pearl here, so you've got an additional 2 oysters. So that's going to be an additional at least 2 colours there as well. So if I hold up this pendant so you can see. Oh, Alison, it's not a problem, but thank you for the stars there, my lovely. So, Jess, this pendant. Now it's going to be backwards view, but hopefully you can see. It is a offset love heart with half of the love heart encrusted with zircon crystal. Okay, at the bottom is where your pearl is going to be set. Now I'm just going to refresh this camera for a second. Let me just bring you back up because it's not focusing how I want it to focus. So I'm just refreshing this, bear with me. And there we go. And let's bring you back down again. Okay, so it's an offset heart. Now in the center it actually says love, but for the circle of love it has a pink zircon crystal for the O of love even. Oh, why can't I get this to focus? This one just doesn't want to focus. There we go. So it's an offset love heart with the word love in the center. The O of love has a pink zircon crystal in, and then your pearl gets set at the bottom. And like I said, that comes with 3 oysters there, Jess. I hope you're happy with that. They do, Shannon, yeah, they do come with a chain. So on the order, the customer's actually already picked what chain length and style they would like. It's just that I haven't, I'm ever so sorry, I haven't got a chain ready tonight to show, to hold it up on. But yeah, they've already picked what chain length and style they would like. So I've just opened these up for you, my lovely. Let's get them open. So oyster number 1. There's one side and the other side, and in here we have a darker pearl to start with. You love it. Oh, perfect. I'm glad you're happy with it. There's no more in that one. So your first pearl is a dark chocolate bronze. So he's a deep, richer chocolate colour. You can see that. He's beautiful. And then moving on to oyster number 2. There's one side and the other side. And in here you have a Pepsi blue. And there's no more in that one. It really is, Kerry. Oh. So this is a 2-tonal Pepsi blue. And then moving on to your last oyster, Jess. So in here, oh, there's one side and the other side. And in here you are twinning, and you're twinning with Blurple twins. Now Blurple is a mix between blue and purple. Okay, so Jess, I hope you're happy with these colours. I'll need to know which one of these you would like on the jewellery, and then the other pearls are yours as well. So if I go through them again for you, you've got that deep, rich chocolate bronze, you've got a Pepsi blue, and then you've got Blurple twins as well. Now, if you do keep in mind with your pendant, you do have that light pink. It's very light pink, but it does have that pink crystal on it as well. So your deep chocolate is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, he's a 7. The Pepsi blue is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7, he's a 7.5. And then twin Blurple number 1 is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7, not a 7.5, he's an 8. And twin Blurple number 2 is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7, not a 7.5, not an 8. He's an 8.5. So the twins are different sizes there. So if you would like one of the Blurples on the jewellery, do let me know if it's the larger or the smaller one. What do you think to all of those? The chocolate on the pendant, of course you can. That's absolutely perfect. Let me pop them in here for you and I'll write that down as well. Oh, I love that pink and chocolate combination. Okay, Jess, I hope you'll be happy with everything then once it arrives. Thank you for the donations with your shells as well. And that's safe up there for you. No, you're very, very welcome. Right, up next then is Mary Miller. Mary, are you here? Mary Miller, are you here? Mary, hello. So you have our last bags of plenty today. Can you just confirm that you're happy with Yellow Smiles there? I think he was last time actually as well. Let me bring Yellow Smiles over. Let's open him up for you. Mary, would you like to keep or would you like to donate your shells, my lovely? So, oh, you have an orange parcel in there. And let's go down. So like I say, would you like to keep or would you like to donate your shells? Okay, so you have 1, 2 and 3 oysters and some earrings. There's no more in there. So you have a pair of earrings and 3 oysters. Now these earrings are slightly different, which is why they're not on the card. Donate the shells, perfect. So I'm hoping I'm going to be able to hold these to show you. So front view of the earrings look like this. They are stud back earrings, and again they're 925 silver. Side view of the earrings, let me hold you one up. It is a loop-de-loop. So it comes down, it goes round, and it does the loop-de-loop and goes down. Now it stands, and it's not stands, it hangs like this, and your pearl is actually going to be hanging off the loop-de-loop circle. So it will be dangling behind this when you wear them, but it will be swinging around. And then side view, you've got the loop-de-loop looping into the pearl as well. I hope you're happy with those, my lovely. I absolutely love these earrings. I think they're really fun. And I love them. So they come with 3 oysters there, Mary. Let me get these open for you. So, 1, 2, and 3. So oyster number 1, my lovely. There's one side and the other side. And in your first oyster, you have a lighter purple. And there's no more in that one. So this is your lighter purple to start with, my lovely. Then moving on to earring number 2. Sorry, oyster number 2. There's one side and the other side. And in here you are twinning. And you're twinning with deeper blurple twins there. So again, a blurple is a mix between a blue and a purple. I love them. Slightly two-tonal in the fact that you've got the lighter and the darker markings there. So light purple and then blurple twins. And then Mary, moving on to your last oyster, again from your Bags of Plenty. There's one side and the other side. Ooh, and in here you have a blue, and there's no more in that one. Okay, so again, I'm just going to pop this one in the sand. Mary, what do you think to these? Now, with these, with the earrings from the bags, if you're not happy with the blurple twins, I could swap a colour to try and match the blue for you. Now, regarding the light purple, if you wanted those on your earrings, I can do that swap for you, but there will be a waiting list for the light purple. Okay, so it's not a problem as long as you don't mind waiting. However, if you're happy with the blurples on the earrings or any other combination here, that's perfect as well. So just let me know what you think and what you would like to do. If I pop them on the board, the darker blue is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7, he's a 7.5. Light purple is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, he's a 7. And then blurple twin number 1 is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7, he's a 7.5. Blurple number 2 is not a 5, not a 5.5, not a 6, not a 6.5, not a 7, he's a 7.5 as well. What do you think to those? The 2 blurples on the earrings. Let me bring you back up. That's perfect. And let me pop these in here. Then I'll write that down as well, Mary. That's not a problem at all. I do call them, no, yeah, Pepsi Blue and TARDIS Blue. That one there's a darker Pepsi Blue. Did I not say that? Sorry, it must be the time of evening. Ever so sorry. But no, Mary, we're going to go for the blurple 7s. Perfect. I've got that down for you. And the others on lobster clasps. I've got that down as well. So the invoice for the lobster fittings will get sent through tomorrow for you, and that will go to the email address that's on the order form, Mary. So that's safe up there for you as well. And thank you for the donations with your shells, and I do hope you'll be happy with everything once it arrives as well. Perfect. And I've just checked, that brings us to the end of the order list for today. Now, just to recap, we are live on Tuesday and Thursday, Friday, Sunday this week. It was meant to be Wednesday for the monthly charm deal. That has been moved to Thursday. Okay, so that's just a slight change this week, but it was still obviously on. It's just one day over, so I hope that's okay. So we're going to be live again. Our next live's on Tuesday evening, so if you'd like to join us there, we'll be live around 8 p.m. BST on Tuesday. Thank you all for joining us today. I hope you'll have a brilliant Monday and start to your week. Take care, guys. Bye.